Cowboy fans and YouTubers? It's that VA Dallas Cowboy fan coming back at you. Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing, and commenting down below. I make these videos for me and you. Another little therapeutic, you know, because it's that time. We've got our coaches back on property. The NFL looks to be having memos sent out to clubs about how to reopen the facilities for players. You know, they got to talk about the distancing of the locker rooms, how many people can be with the trainers, you know, stuff like that. You know, looking out for the players. That's good, because I don't know if people could make it without football. You know, we can do without basketball and baseball. You know, we've seen it. We're going through it. But without football, oh my God. We wouldn't know what to do without those guys. It just wouldn't make sense to have no football this fall. With or without fans in the stands, you know. But at least they're making preparations to get back out there, you know. Even if it you got to take out a preseason game, they said, just for them to get back acclimated to training camps. They'll do that, but they're not looking towards canceling, you know, too much of the preseason and or the season itself. Even though there were some contingency plans that talked about starting the season in October or something, but they're not looking towards that idea at all. But looks like we're going to have football on time as far as the season goes. In other news, the Cowboys might have an advantage if there's no fans in the stands. When you think about it, most of the teams we play on the road this year, like Seattle, it would behoove us to not have any fans in the stands, because now they can't use that 12th man against us. We'd actually be operating on an even field. As far as other away games like in Los Angeles or Philly, DC, stuff like that, the Cowboy fans traveled well. So majority of the crowd noise that you heard were our fans anyway. So it doesn't really matter in some of the stadiums around. But it'll definitely show up in places like Seattle, Philly nowadays. But other than that, we're looking pretty good as far as playing with an even advantage now. So I can't wait for those kind of games, you know, when we can actually focus on ourselves and execution instead of worrying about did we communicate properly. Other news, Des Bryant went on Twitter to call out Jason Witten and Jerry Jones about the protests, or why they have not spoken up about what's going on in the world. Jason Witten did respond to him on Twitter. He explained that he tried to contact him before he made the tweet, but he made a pretty good statement out on Twitter. You should check it out. And Des Bryant gave him the praying emoji back. We have not heard from Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones, the Cowboys actually released a video about everything that's going on, but Jerry Jones was not a part of it. So you're not really sure, you know, his take on everything. He's been pretty much keeping his nose out of it, basically. And as a fan, I want that to be what's happening. I don't want him to release a statement, because sometimes when Jerry Jones speaks, he says something stupid and he puts his foot in his mouth. So I think it's best that they just come out with the statement, have the video from the players, and have somebody else make the statements. Do not have Jerry Jones out there with a camera, from the yacht or something, and making no video about what's going on, because everybody's going to try and misconstrue whatever message he says. After you've seen what happened to Drew Brees and the backlash he's gotten from everybody, Jerry Jones doesn't want that distraction right now. They have enough on their plate with recently getting Travis Frederick. His retirement has come across, so the money is now in the kitty for doing whatever they need to do. The coaches are now back in the offices. They have to sign draft picks. They haven't signed any draft picks yet. So, as they slowly work to get everything back to normal, Jerry Jones is working towards that. He's not worrying about, putting out a statement right now. He's trying to get his product back on the field. And, as a fan, fine. As a black person, I'm not too mad about it. I don't need every Caucasian person in the world speaking up about it. I'm glad you're listening. I'm glad y'all are locking arms with us and marching with us and everything. I'm glad that it's finally looking like there can be real change. Let's see, what else is going on out there? There was a NFL.com, I do believe. They did a redraft of all the available NFL players now. And even though Dak was taking 6 quarterbacks back, Mahomes, Russ, Lamar, they're getting on there. But he was in the top 10. So, there you have that. Let's see. Who did they pick? He went somewhere. I can't remember. He went to Jacksonville. They said that Jacksonville would have drafted him. And we would have ended up having to draft Kyler Murray. So, not the worst drop-off, because as a Cowboy fan, you're not really studying what Kyler Murray's got, but he does have some skills. He just got to hone it in, and we'll see what he's got with Hopkins this year. So, there's that. Not too much else out there right now. We're happy that coaches can return to facilities. So that's a step in the right direction. We know that they still can do the virtual meetings and everything. But having the players get back to the facilities to where they can actually interact with their coaches, face to face as close as they can, that's going to be the real test. Especially when, we were supposed to have an advantage by having a new coach starting for us. We were supposed to get that week advantage to return before anybody else, and that just went out the window, really. But, there's going to be a lot of work getting put in soon. Hopefully it all goes well. Everybody's going to be as safe as possible, because you got those poor college kids that are just reported back to school for voluntarily working out, and they got it. So, hopefully the NFL, the NBA, and everybody who gets back to playing, it's not as big of a problem when they return. Hopefully they have some kind of testing. I'm not sure what they can do. I've heard of the mucus test and some kind of mouth swab or something, and I'm not sure how that's going to tell you you're asymptomatic before you're asymptomatic. So it is what it is. I hope everybody takes care if and when, players are allowed to go back. But that's pretty much it for right now. Not too much on the front, thank God. Things are keeping quiet as far as the NFL goes now. A lot of stuff is they basically, the players are being distracted right now. They have a reason to not do boneheaded stuff. And it's a shame that this is what unifies the players. Not the CBA, not negotiations for future generations, but this. It is what it is, right? But I hope y'all take care, stay safe. I know a lot of people are out here protesting, and it seems like social distancing went right out the window. And you're hearing that a bunch of these protesters are contracting the disease now. Duh. Because you're out there with a bunch of people and you still haven't found a vaccine for what's going on before all this stuff went down. So far, 2020. Halfway in, it sucks. Can't wait for 2021, right? But at least we'll probably have the distraction of sports coming back soon. Hope y'all take care, stay safe, and we'll get back to you if anything else happens. Thanks again for liking, sharing, subscribing, and commenting down below. VA Dallas Cowboy fan, out.